Welcome all you Aquarians to your monthly reading for the month of May, and we've been looking at chakras each month starting at the beginning of the year. So here we are in month number 5 to the 5th chakra, which is the throat chakra. Thus we have all the beautiful colors of the throat chakra, the aqua blue-ish. And because we're focusing on the throat chakra, we're going to be asking the question for this month's reading, just how and where can we communicate more clearly in our lives? And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from this beautiful blue deck here, the Seeker Oracle, and just see in general what the Creator would like you to know about your communication. So one more time here. All right, so for our Aquarians for the month of May, what would you like them to know about their communication? How and where can we communicate more clearly? Okay, it's this one right here. Of course, Aquarians are air signs, so they're all about the communication. Beautiful. It's time to rise. That beautiful fiery eagle, phoenix-like card there. We're just going to put that right here. And let's take a look and see what energy comes with this card. Kind of just intuitively, it's time to raise the vibration of the communication. And I kind of feel like, especially for Aquarians moving into the age of Aquarius, that it's really an important piece of your adventure for this lifetime to help communicate and really align your throat chakra with that of the spiritual realm so you can speak the messages that they would like you to speak to the world to help them into this Aquarian age. Since Aquarians, I'm a Sun Aquarian, so I understand that, we understand the Aquarian energy because we live in it every day, so we don't think it's uncomfortable, but it is kind of uncomfortable for a lot of the other signs that don't have a lot of Aquarius in their chart strongly, because it is about leaving old ways of doing things behind and moving into new. So the card here, it says life is beautiful. It's bright with potential and possibility and filled with moments of laughter and delight. But life's not just love and light. We also experience moments when life does not unfold as we had hoped or planned. We experience disappointments and failures that weigh us down and ground us. We become afraid to try again, to fly lest we fail and fall. But don't allow the disappointment and unmet expectations to weigh you down. Be open-hearted. Be kind to yourself. Yes, take ownership, but then reevaluate your expectations. Take stock and determine when, how, and why things went awry. Being afraid to fail is not reason enough to make another attempt, especially when our mistakes can be studied and learned from. Figure out what went wrong so you can do it right the next time. It could also be said that failure is the best possible beginning because it does serve to ground you. When you fail first, you won't take anything for granted the next time. There's also only one direction in which you can travel when you're at rock bottom, and that is up. See any failure or disappointment as an opportunity to learn, and then put the past behind you. Let them be the ashes of what was. Armed with new knowledge and wisdom, be like the phoenix and rise again. It's time to see potential and possibility once more and allow both to lift you to new heights. So I love that. So how and where we can bring more clarity in our communication is to understand that focusing in on what is not in our life or what didn't go according to our plan just expands that and invests that energy into that old ways. But we can more clearly communicate and more productively communicate by focusing on what we do want to grow in our lives. We allow those things to be the ashes. We don't, daily stick our finger, like lick our finger, stick in the ashes, and then wipe it all over our face and everything, going, look at all my failures, look how everything didn't work out. It's like, no, we look at what can I learn from whatever happened in my life, because it happened on purpose, for a purpose. If it was a disappointment, then I can look at what expectations do I have, and can I refocus my life into a different direction that is one more of unconditional love and light instead of fear. So I love how that is unfolding. And if you're new to my channel, what I do each month is I take a tarot deck, I split out the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor arcana, and the major arcana represents, like this card, where it's the overall energy for the entire month regarding our subject, which is that clarity and communication in our lives. So I'm just going to give these a little mix here, and we'll see what else the Creator wants our Aquarians to know about their communication for the month of May. Okay, they do want that one. That one came out really fast, so here we go. And you have the Justice card, card number 11, which here is the Ace of Swords, which is very much, the sword suit is the element of air. And the Justice card is really this, you see the little balancing act here too, which is all about the balancing out of the small t truce to the capital T truce. So this is perfect for this journey, because it really, when you take an 11 and add 1 plus 1 equals the 2, you realize there's the 2 places, the 2 of you, where you get this knowledge, where this feeling of justice or kind of like judgment comes from. And it's the balancing of the 2 scales. There's the 2 sides of the scale, right? You've got the human side, which we talked about, has things rooted in fear, things rooted into that human side of us that, is so influenced by the fight or flight of the human, survival instincts and all the opinions and popular opinions, all those expectations this card was talking about. And then you have your higher self, the real you. This is the character that you're playing. This is the actor behind the character. So this is a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. These are the capital T truths. These are the small t truths. And this Ace of Swords that it holds in its hand, it's a lot like the King of Swords, or the Queen, the Page, and the Knight. They all have this pursuit and this action around that Ace of Swords. One, it allows you to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm, but it also allows you to slice away and cut away those small t truths that no longer serve you. And when I say they no longer serve you, they did serve us for a time, because we do come here to experience what it might feel like to be fearful and be small and be limited, experience what a mistake might feel like. Because in the other side, in our place of unconditional love, there is no mistakes, it's just experience. But to feel judged and to feel this justice and everything, that's from the human side. And so there's this beautiful opening up of the communication and the clarity of that every moment is made up of 2 things: the fear of losing conditional love, or the feeling of unconditional love. So I love how this is definitely unfolding, a lot of clarity coming in. And we're going to move into the 4 suits of the minor arcana, which represent 4 different areas of the human experience while we're here. We're going to start off with the Wands suit, which is the fire element. This represents like our drive, our ambition, our spark, our, that inspiration, our passion. And it can be our spiritual energy, but it's our energetic experience during our life here. And so this is what the Creator wants you to know about your energetic experience during the month of May in regard to this clarity and communication in our lives. So for our Aquarians, what would you like them to know about their energetic experience, please? Okay, they do want to that one. Let's make some space over here. There we go. Yeah, and you have the 3 of Wands. And this is a great card of like change of course, altering of course. You can think of like the Ace of Wands would be like new inspiration, a new, spark to do something new. And the 2 of Wands is making plans and kind of taking a step or two toward it. And the Three of Wands would be like, let's say this little person here, this is you. You were in the middle of a continent, and the spark was you wanted to go somewhere, specifically off the continent, and you made plans to get to this city, to get to the coast. And on the coast, I'm going to go take this ship and go off in this direction. Well, now that you have this new information, this new clarity around your expectations and the cutting away of those small t truths connecting to higher truths, you now have a different course. You're changing course. You're like, this is the ship. I want to go off in this direction instead of the old way that I was thinking of going. So there is, during this month of May, this altering, this changing of course that is unfolding for you as well as you get new truths and new information coming in. We're also going to pull from these energy oracle cards to see what else the Creator wants you to know about your energetic experience during the month of May. So for Aquarians, what else would you like them to know about their energy? Okay, they do into this one right here. Angel of Balance. Balance. So there is this balancing going on, right? This balancing message for the month of balancing your energies. And here you are heading off to the pyramids instead. It's funny, water bearers. Here is like an angelic water bearer. Which is what Aquarians are, right? So we'll do this here. And then 48, 8 plus 4 is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. So there is this creative energy, this 3 energy that's happening. And so there is this new way of looking at things that's coming to pass. And this card is about being centered and self-honoring in your choices. So this loving presence, hold a pitcher of liquid light in front of the pyramids, reminding you that a strong destiny relies on a solid foundation of personal balance and emotional equanimity. Although things may have been out of sync in the past, this card is telling you that a greater equilibrium is now coming to your life. Remain conscious about how you are balancing your goals and your physical and emotional energy as well. Whenever you feel yourself getting off center or losing focus, call upon this beautiful angel and bring her intention into your heart center. Your intuition will lead you in the right direction, and the angel will guide you to a peaceful and centered approach. It's kind of funny, too, that this reminds me of the Hermit card as well, that they have this lantern that they use as they go internal, and they find this beautiful light, which is usually the star, which the star card also represents Aquarius in the major arcana. So the Hermit card, what's in that little light lantern is the star of the star card. So there's just this beautiful confirmation that this is the Aquarian angel in a way. And then we're going to move into the earth element, which is the pentacles. Now, this will be the only one that's about the outside world. You know, you have your inner energy. We'll talk about your thoughts and your emotions. All that happens on the inward piece of us. But this is going to be the outside world. So this is all the characters that are on that earthly stage with us, all the props we have, our possessions, even our own bodies, just what the Creator wants you to know about your physical experience during the month of May in regarding to this new clarity, this new rising from the ashes and this changing of direction here. So what else would you like our Aquarians to know about their physical adventure during the month of May? Okay, I do want to give you these two. And the first one is the Seven of Pentacles. I had a feeling this one might come up too, because the Seven of Pentacles is about, you've planted seeds, you've seen things grow, and that you're waiting for the fruit to ripen. And so they're doing the work, and they see that, this tree has grown, and now that it was an apple tree, and you're starting to see the little apples start to show themselves. They're not ripe and ready to eat or for the picking, but you're seeing it. So sometimes it is about patience and about understanding that you change from the inside out. So things on the inside will change more rapidly than the outside, and they'll start to show on the outside eventually. But you're going to feel a lot of change happening on the inside. Just the world's going to take time to catch up. The other thing I was laughing at is this is a lot like this Three of Wands, where you might see that apple, the apple tree start to bear fruit, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I did plant an apple tree. I'm not really into apples anymore. I'd rather, grow an avocado bush or avocado tree, right? And that's like this change of direction, like we were talking about the Three of Wands. When you're seeing the fruit start to grow, you might realize that that's not where you want to invest your energy, and you want to kind of change directions. Yeah, and then you have the Six of Pentacles, which would be the awareness of the giving and receiving. And again, we have the balancing here, this little balancing of giving and receiving. So you've got all this balancing happening throughout all of this too, which for me, this really is about during the month of May, as you're realizing this change of direction, that of course Aquarians can tend to overgive and give themselves and not receive, because they're so humanitarian. They have this energy, they want to help the world, so they can sometimes exhaust themselves. So along with this energy I had with the Hermit, this is also allowing yourself to give to yourself, and make sure you balance that out, like it talked about, this balancing between the giving and the receiving, between the physical and the emotional. It's like, yeah, let's balance this out. So again, this is this balancing in the outside world, balancing on the inside, which is all over this place here. We're also going to pull from this Oracle of E and just see what else the Creator wants you to know about the physical adventure during May. One more time here. All right. So what else for our Aquarians for their physical adventure, please? What else would you like them to know? Okay, there it is. And you have the Bunny Hop Jive. And I love that. Number 4. 4s are a very solid number. Think of it like a table with 4 huge legs. It's a very stable kind of energy. So I feel like, again, with the stability coming in is an important piece of this message for you. And it says, whoever said you had to do it alone, it's T for two time. Friendships, partnerships, even party ships are bounding your way. It's time to join hands and dozy-do with your sisters and your bros. Togetherness brings miracles now. So I love that. So allow others to give to you, right? This equal giving and receiving. This is definitely reinforcing that message of not doing things all by yourself, not thinking that you have to just be an endless, source of pouring out of givingness to everyone else without allowing them to feel that wonderful feeling of giving and give that to you too. So perfect. Then we're going to move into the air element, which is your element, and that is the sword suit, which is about all our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our attitudes, our expectations. So this is our mental adventure during the month of May. So what would you like Aquarians to know? This is like, we're not afraid of this. This is like our home. We live in our minds, right? Yeah. So King of Swords, and I mentioned earlier that this reminded me of the King of Swords. I had a feeling it was going to come up, and it sure did. So, it's almost like very reinforced message here of, here's your Ace of Swords. This allows you to connect to those capital T truths of the higher realm, and it allows you to cut away those small T truths of the human side of things, because you're ready to connect to those higher truths. You're ready to move into something that is more stable. That phoenix that's rising from the ashes of its disappointments that it had in all those expectations in the outside world, and that wonderful, king. All the kings carry their own suit. Of course, this is air, so he's the master of air. But all the kings in the minor arcana also carry the element of air. And so you have double air. You have this is you. This represents, the air signs, the masters of the air signs. So this is all of you air signs just showing up for yourself, going, yes. You get to connect, you get to balance your mind, though, with your emotions as well. It's a very important kind of experience or wisdom that the king experiences, having gone through all of the swords experiences. He knows that when you make decisions strictly from the mind, they don't tend to be fun, first of all, but they also don't tend to align with our highest experience also, as well as if we're making decisions strictly from our emotions, those also tend to be, so sporadic and unstable because our human side has fear emotions, which will take us off in, reactive things instead. So this is very much this message of balancing heart and mind as well. We're also going to pull a card from this Clarity deck, which is from this group called Girls Gone Happy. So regardless of how you identify today, for this reading, we are all honorary Girls Gone Happy. All right, so what else for our Aquarians regarding their mental adventure during May, please? What else for our Aquarians? Okay. I do want to that one and that one. Okay, 4. Okay, a lot in the mind. Are we surprised? So you've got apologies. It says, when you next find yourself about to say sorry for something, how can you instead say thank you for something else in that moment? What patterns do you notice in what you're apologizing for and what you're appreciating? And we talked about that with the focusing, right, on the negativity of things, the dark side of things instead of the positive. So focus on what you want to grow in your life. So focus on gratitude instead of regret. And you have overwhelm. That says, how are your attempts to protect yourself from getting overwhelmed actually keeping you stuck? Conversely, how are you using being overwhelmed as a way to stay safe and not move forward? Yeah, so this questioning of these thoughts and these beliefs that have been overwhelming, it really is this clarity that comes because if it's a fear, it's of the small t truths and of the human side, whereas it is of love and joy and peace and laughter, that is of unconditional love of the capital T truths. And really dissecting it and balancing it and understanding it is such an important piece here. Yeah, they wanted to have a topic of home life. So looking at your home life, these colors are the same, so I really feel this has to do with this overwhelmingness is about home and family and this feeling of home, because usually you feel there's where you feel safe. And so there's been a lot of, I want to say, obviously overwhelming emotions that come in, but I just kind of feel like there's these beliefs, when you're talking about these capital T truths and small t truths. The small t truths are what are causing you to be overwhelmed about your beliefs, about your worth, about your ability and your worth to have, but you have been having these feelings of lack and the doubts, and with all those, like it says, those apologies, with those, it wasn't resentments, it's, when you look back over your life, or regrets, that's what I was trying to think of. Thank you. So it's, looking over the regrets that you've had, like, oh, I should have done that. I should have done this. If only I had done it. It's like, don't worry about all that. Focus on what you're grateful for. I'm grateful I did this. I'm grateful that I did this. I'm grateful I have this in my life. I'm grateful I have this person in my life. So this home life, this transformation is where it's really coming from. Yeah. And then you have silence. Where is there just too much noise right now? How can you bring more silence into the space where you are questioning? What feelings and associations do you have around silence that need to be worked on too? So like we talked about with that Hermit card, it's important for you to take some time away from things too. It doesn't mean you have to become a hermit, but it is important for you to take this time, because as you're doing this balancing, the balancing act is about being social, but also about having your alone time to do this balancing between the clarity that comes between those small T truths and the capital T truths. So I like that. And then the final suit is the water element, which is cups. And this, of course, is your emotions. And so this is what your emotional adventure with the creator wants you to know about that, regarding all this communication, this clarity around your communication. So for our Aquarians for May, what would you like them to know? So I'm sure there's some balancing going on here, because we were talking about heart and mind. Yeah, they want this one right here, and they want this one right here. Yep, you have the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups is, like we talked about in the beginning, the two places that you can get emotions from: your human side and your higher spiritual side. So they're definitely having that come in here. Yep, and then the Seven of Cups, that there's all these choices that can be made, and you have the choice to choose what emotion you want to experience within each situation, right? And so, whenever anything comes into our lives, we always have the choice to, one, what story we put to any situation, and what emotion we want to feel through any situation. And the kind of this balancing with this Justice card is about understanding that a lot of times it doesn't feel like we're making a choice, because of all this popular opinion that we were told growing up, that when this thing happens, this is what it means. When this thing happens, this is how it's supposed to feel, like all those expectations. And so it was reinforced over and over again that it became our habit and thus became our reaction. But if you slow down time, if you take a pause, take a deep breath with whatever's going on, and realize I get to choose what this means. Yeah, everyone says that when I lose my job, this is what it's supposed to mean. I'm supposed to feel devastated and fearful that I'm not going to get another job and panic. This is what it's supposed to mean. I'm a failure and I'm supposed to feel this way. But if you're like, you know what? I wasn't going to leave that job, and it was, kind of this toxic relationship I had with my job. I was fearing leaving the job and breaking up with my job. It could be a relationship too, right? But, with a situation, and then they ended up terminating me, and now they have freed me from that relationship because I wasn't going to let it go, and now I can go move on to something else. So I can choose to be happy about this, look at it as a beautiful thing that's happening instead of something horrible. And so that's the transformation that they're talking about there. And then we're going to pull a card here from the Spirit Junkie, and because this is the last big card that we're going to pull, this can mean more about the emotional relationship, whatever's happening, our emotional adventure during the month of May. But because it's the last card, it can also be a wild card and just be whatever else the Creator wants you to know about the month of May. All right, so what else for our Aquarians? All right, there we go. Boom, boom. This says, the difficult relationships in my life are the perfect mirror for me to look more closely at my own behavior. And this is great because it does tell us more about our emotions, but it always tells us that relationships, everyone, whether it's romantic or family or friends or even work, peers or bosses or whatever, all of our relationships are mirrors that reflect back to us what we want to see about ourselves until we see it. So all these relationships that are happening are these beautiful mirrors for us. And so as we look at our emotions during the month of May, we understand, and those small T truths stand out to us. And then also we can see what capital T truth is more truer than that small T truth. We're also going to pull your final cards from the heart affirmations and just see what the final messages are that the Creator has for all you Aquarians. So what's your final message for Aquarians, please? Okay, any others? And last pass. Okay, they do want that one. And to that one. Okay. So we'll look at this one since it made itself known first. Yeah, I am blessed, a living and loving expression of the eternal union. Yeah, this two of you, they did have me start this new video series at the beginning of the year. It's a free one on YouTube, and I'll have it linked in the description box below, and I'll throw a link at the end here as well. It's called You Times Two, which is all about the understanding the two of you that are living this human experience, that human side, and that, you know, like I talked about in the beginning, that's your character, and you have the actor behind the character. So I really feel like they're talking about this union of the two of you, the two parts of you coming together, like the yin yang, like this, where, you know, this is you, there's two parts of you, and each of you is inside each other, and this is all you that are swirling around and having this beautiful experience. So I would check that out. And then I am clearly guided to my revered guardian who protects me always. Yeah, again, this is you have a higher self of yours that is always protecting you, that is always watching out for you. And you also have your whole posse of support on the other side, all these beings of unconditional love and light, your angels, your guardian angel, your spirit guides, your loved ones that are already on the other side, ancestors, spirit, creator. There's just a whole slew of beings of unconditional love and light that have your back. And so you are never alone and you are protected. And this says, I release old burdens and expectations of love. I'm free to choose with confidence. Yep, that was that final message for us, right? About this phoenix, allowing those old things to burn away and move into this new exciting adventure of your life. So I love this clarity that is going to be coming to you around, a lot of it I feel is around your own self-talk for yourself, which of course makes its way out of our mouth into the world, but it starts with what's in your heart, what's in your head, and that is what makes it out into the world. So I love this beautiful message for you, all my fellow Aquarians. And if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these monthly readings for each zodiac sign, I also put out weekly energy updates for each of the elements, like air signs, fire signs, etc., that U times 2 videos, and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up, click this like button, also click the subscribe button, that gives you access to this notification bell. And when you go in there, if you select the all option, you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, because when you like a video, you share a video, or comment on a video, or subscribe to a channel, of course, that makes the YouTube algorithm just so crazy happy. It wants to share the videos of that channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you're looking for even more specific information for your specific life, I do offer personal readings currently, and all that information is listed in the description box below as well. Right, my Aquarians, as you go throughout your beautiful month and every second and every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing month. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, but in the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.